We have now entered the lovely, sleepy town of Ojai.
Nestled in a valley in the Topa Topa Mountains just northwest of Los Angeles, Ojai is a nature lover's paradise.
You could camp, you can hike, you could just be at peace and alone with Mother Nature.
The Ojai Valley is home to over 40 varieties of trees, unique plants, and an array of wild animals. But invasive, non-native species like the Mexican fan palm and eucalyptus are threatening Ojai's delicate ecosystems. And conservationists such as Brian Hawley from Pax Environmental are working tirelessly to rehabilitate the area.
What we're doing here today is doing a preparation for a big restoration project that will go on for the next 2 years. And right now we're doing a lot of the prep work. What I want to show you today is some of the different elements of what we use in order to start and then keep a restoration project like this going.
And as with any project, it starts from the ground up.
What we're trying to do in this restoration project is bring back more oak trees and see the regeneration that you normally do in an oak forest.
So what we're doing right now is basically the opposite of deforestation. We're doing reforestation.
That's exactly right.
And you focus on native species.
Native species are important for a number of reasons, but notably that they're well adapted to this climate and they can handle drought and adapt better to fire scenarios. We're trying to keep the native habitat for the species that rely on these trees. Let's dig a hole. Nice.
This isn't the first time I've dug my own grave.
Let me help you here.
How long is this oak gonna take to reach maturity?
This oak could be 140 years old. So when they start getting bigger, generally that's an indicator that they're older species.
Planted our first tree. Let's celebrate, Brian.
Good job.
Woo!
Cause for celebration indeed, as planting native trees also benefits the water supply.
As we take out some of these invasive trees, you get more surface water because they're actually pulling more water out of the ground.
And with that comes an improvement in water quality.
I don't know if I'd be drinking out of this pond.
Something that's important to protect the species that call this pond home.
My initial observations here, Brian, I'm gonna say water clarity is about a 0. Water stinkiness, we're at about a 11.
Right.
Let's get to testing.
You got to move away that top layer.
God, that looks terrible.
Now we're looking at really high pH. We're at 7.58. We're looking at dissolved oxygen, 38.2%. We're aiming for higher than that.
Not great conditions for the myriad of aquatic species that live here, and further evidence of the importance of this restoration project.
Let's move on to the next site.
Oh, really? We can't hang out here for a little bit longer?
But it's not just the pond life that's suffering in this region. Roughly an hour northeast of the restoration site,
The topography has certainly changed from where we were to where we are now.
conservationists are working to protect large swaths of a closed canopy conifer forest planned for removal, something that will greatly diminish the habitat of the California spotted owl, a species that is already on the endangered list.
Is it important to keep spotted owl populations high?
It definitely is. They're an important part of the ecosystem as a predator, and they are an indicator of a failing ecosystem as their population diminishes.
If I was an owl, I guess I know why they're living up here.
But to pinpoint their precise location requires a bird's eye view.
The drone can go in and take really in-depth aerial imagery, but also prime habitat.
This is absolutely breathtaking, man.
What you're looking at in this section is actually 500 different images stitched together
Oh, wow.
to create this really in-depth aerial imagery.
And with the help of this imagery, we embark on our search for the elusive California spotted owl.
Many people may have heard of Cesar Millan, the dog whisperer. Well, tonight we have Richard, the owl whisperer.
Do you see anything, Johnny?
I see a bunch of pine needles. How many more trees do you think we have in this forest to look at?
I think several thousand.
How do you call an owl?
It's called a 4-note. It goes. The idea there is you're going to elicit a response from that other spotted owl.
Is an owl just going to come down and start humping my head?
You certainly can be attacked by them, especially if you're around a nest or babies, and you can get hurt.
I may not walk away seeing a spotted owl, but I've learned an awful lot. It's been an adventure thus far, to say the least. After coming up to Ojai, I'm learning about the health of the water, the health of the forest. It's a symbiotic relationship, and you can't have one survive without the other.
Nicely done.
Better?
Yeah. Yeah.
Trees need water to grow. Owls need trees to live. It really drives the importance home of everybody out there doing their part to keep forests and wildlife as healthy as possible. You should hear my owl calling when I'm in the shower. It's spot on.